brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss. Look who's starting it all off. It's Raven.
No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from Peyton. He's just gonna solidify everything from Mythos.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Lores, you're gonna be able to find these shots true.
Edu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes the Nanoblade immediately comes back and finds skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2-3. So back and forth.
And welcome back, everybody. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's a beautiful time to cover the last couple of grand final matches we have for our division. We're going to be covering EU this time. We have the Masters Grand Finals coming at you straight away. We have Dream Eaters, UNDVA, Unks coming through, one of the best regions, personally, in the Pokemon world. And they're going to be going against the VA Cat Plague crew. I'm Nyah, joined by the wonderful Nyah, of course, covering all the action. And not just this action, but we have a lot of games coming at you as we look over at the schedule really quickly. We have a day packed full of both EU and NA action, as you can see at this exact same time on CGL1. Kira and GGTO are also duking it out over there, so if you have 2 streams open, really cool and sexy for you guys. But as we go over to the nighttime and on the NA side of things, we have Agave Foxtails versus Amplify at 8 o'clock. And then the match of the night, in my opinion, no bias for my division, Solar Eclipse versus Cuddle Puddle, a banger happening at 9:30 for an hour and a half after. So please come back and check those out. But right now, don't go anywhere. You and I, Nyah, are covering covering one of the most intense matches of the day.
Yeah, and let's take a look at this bracket here that we actually got in front of us. Dream Eaters, their first match that happened up in their round 1, they 3-1'd a team, which that was SCR Esports. But you look at VA Cat Plague, which was basically the same. So both of the teams going up into this round here to declare a winner here out of this one. So it should definitely still be close. There should be a lot of competition within, but both of the teams have, the great players to do it.
1000%. Both teams have amazing players on either side of them. As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, the records are really similar in terms of what happened in these mid-season round 1s. 3-1 record for both of them. So you would think that they're pretty even here as we start getting ourselves ready for the grand finals. It's still first to 3. This is technically round 2 of the midseason final for EU Masters, so we're going to be starting things off on Oasis, and also we're going to be seeing some hero bands come through, which I feel like as we've been covering the grand finals for most of these matches, the bands for Oasis have been very, out there. With Lijiang Tower for round 1, it was kind of the same, try to mitigate the brawl, try to mitigate these certain comps. But Oasis is so flexible, Nyah, that I feel like we've been seeing so many different characters be banned that you wouldn't really expect.
Yeah, we could see, Malga compositions played here. We could also see Rom, Junker Queen, Hazard can be seen. Even a dive composition could possibly be seen here too with a Winston or Wrecking Ball. Even Poke too, so multiple variety here as you quoted, but a lot of banning happening within the scene here of our mid-season. But I gotta say, this is going to be the last series for these, teams to ban here up in the mid-season. So you have UNDVA Unks here banning first. If I were them here, I would probably go with a supporter tank. You get to see a lot of the scene with the support backlines going either quick or slow, or if you wanted to aggress just a tad more, take out a tank probably.
1000%. And like I was mentioning, because of how flexible the sub maps of Oasis are between University, City Center, and things like that, you can play the rush, you can play the brawl, you can play the dive. So I think the best thing is to ban a tank or a support here. As the timer now ticks down, I'm gonna be locking in like a Kiriko ban. I'll lock in like an Ana ban to negate a Winston or a Diva dive. Even a Juno ban really good, but it's actually gonna be my scientist, Miss Moira, gonna be banned here. Interestingly enough, actually, I'm actually wondering what the thought process is with that, because she is
Moira,
pretty strong right now, like in the
yeah.
grand scheme of things. But I never really see her on Oasis. I see her really flourish on like a New Junk City.
I know Moira is like one to play up in the composition of Brawl sometimes, whether
Mm-hmm.
if it's bringing like a quick pace to it or even that mid tempo style. But yeah, taking out the support here of Moira, not too bad. Maybe they're trying to force a composition that can come out here, but we still have tank and DPS, right? So if you are VA Cat Plague here, you have a fantastic choice to make. You could either take out a poke scheme of things, or maybe a flyer here, or Tracer or Sojourn. That would be a fantastic pick of the DPS. Or tank here, I'd probably say Hazard or Malga. We got to see a lot of pro here up in the upper divisions, like Overwatch Esports. They've been sticking to the Malga compositions, so I wouldn't be surprised here if Malga was the ban.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Maga ban. I saw a Genji ban earlier on Oasis just yesterday, for I believe one of our North American matches. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see. Ooh, okay, kind of the same vein. We have the Torbjorn ban. That means that turret is really not going to be a factor, and I think that also allows characters like the Genji, like Tracer, like Echo, that really can play without much distraction from a Torb turret, which at level 3, or technically at with the perk, can be
Yeah.
quite a nuisance to deal with. So 2 bans I actually like, given that they allow other characters to really be enabled and play to their fullest extent. So as we now move and transition from the hero bans, the Moira and the Torb, now we can go over and now talk about these teams first and foremost, starting off with the Dream Eater squad. Let's take it away. We are going to be having the starting roster of Stardy and Tiger on that DPS line. We have Chinese Hino, of course, coming through with the tank, and then Bridget Sucks and Wymro coming as well. Oh, so Myro, yeah, coming through on that back line for the Dream Eaters, Unova Unks. Very excited to see how these guys step up to the plate against the VA Cat Plague.
Yeah, and talking about the VA Cat Plague, those guys are next, and they are a pretty nice stacked roster against the Unova Unks, but let's talk about them. So our DPS here, we got Blue and Spazzy34. Our main tank is going to be Inferno, and our support line is going to be Nuven and Kerios. So a lot of players to mention here throughout the matchup of VA Cat Plague versus Dream Eaters Unova Unks. This should definitely be one to watch here if you are a chat member or us here up on the cast here as casters. But yeah, I expect this one to be a lot competitive than people are thinking.
It's going to be really competitive. I mean, it's grand finals for a reason. These guys are part of the top 4 that even made it to the mid-season bracket from their regular season. So really, really exciting to see what exactly the EU Master side has in store for us. Because I did cover the NA side, and there were some chunkiest things that definitely happened with my fellow North American crew there, but EU, always a pleasure to cover, as our teams are, of course, getting ready to go in. Oasis, once again, it brings a lot to the table here. You can kind of see already from the lineup, we see Inferno does prefer to play the Hazard, and that also might be a factor. We might be seeing the Hazard dive come in, and if we have Spazzy on the Genji, just like their favorite character is sort of showcasing, we might just be seeing the classic Hazard Genji Sojourn with maybe a Juno Brig backline, Juno Ana, Juno Kiri, lots of different options that really could be seen from Cat Plague into Dream Eaters.
Yeah, it could definitely happen here. But, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to see a mix-up of compositions here come out from both of the teams. They could definitely surprise each other up on that first map 1. But even, after that map 1, they get to choose different hero bands and target ban those heroes. So it's always going to be exciting to, move forward with. But we have two teams that want to show the competition here, and I wouldn't be surprised if these teams pick the players that, fit their compositions.
For sure. We're just waiting on one more team to get ready, as they have now finally, looks like we are ready to go straight in. Dream Eaters, finally, they're like, okay, we got my water, we got my food, we're good to go for this first 3 series. Again, first of 3, meaning best of 5 for my people that, are a little interchangeable. Here's the head-to-heads, of course, as a reminder. It is going to be these 5 starting lineups. There are, I believe, 2 substitutes in the side of Dream Eaters that could come in at any point, but per CGL, always your starting 5, and then mix swaps thereafter. Looks like we're starting off on, I believe this is downtown. I like to call it downtown, but I'm not even sure if it's actually called downtown. But we're starting things off strongly on Oasis. Here we go. Cafe Romo. I wish this existed. I wish I could go to Cafe Romo. Side note, Nyah, my Dunkin', I go to it every single day.
Yeah.
Across the street from my apartment. It's so convenient. They decided to tell me they're going under a 3-week renovation. So as you can imagine, I've been very
no coffee.
I've been tweaking out a little bit without my Dunkin' at easy access.
Yeah, I know. I actually drank a coffee before this cast, so I'll be, rambling. So, but Dream Eaters versus UNDVA Unk versus VA Cat Plague, and something to say about VA Cat Plague is Inferno is going to be sticking to that hazard like how we seen, but up on the side of UNDVA, they are going to be bringing out that Orisa, so a little bit of strategy coming in between both of the sides. Maybe it's something to promise against, but this is going to be important. Both of the teams need to take the high ground here because this is Gardens.
Yeah, here comes Gardens here, and that high ground's so good. But looks like they're both going through the hallway, and yeah, both going to be meeting each other in that aforementioned high ground you were talking about. It's going to actually be Cat Plague coming through on the high ground first, forcing Tiger to actually use the low ground instead and kind of poke at this high ground as we see Inferno come in from the back end. Bridget sucks, however, finds a first pick onto blue, and just like that, both DPSs are down for the count. Tiger tries to get booped off, gets saved by that little bit of land covering their recovery. And Kaido's, yeah, we get a good pick off on the Kiriko, but otherwise, it really is just a W in favor of VA Cat Plague. Oh, and you see, Masters Division.
Yeah, and
my tank is not there.
Yeah, Inferno did something there, but yeah, if you are Dream Eaters, you do have this percentage pulling into your favor. You're currently sitting at a good, setup momentum, but you're looking at VA Cat Plague, which you need to build back up into this. But the ultimate economy here, VA Cat Plague has just a bit more than Dream Eaters UNDVA. So if VA Cat Plague wants to charge up these ultimates just a bit faster and get this aggression up onto Dream Eaters, they can definitely do it.
Rotating around to the bottom side of Gardens, of completely just neglecting that high ground space. Except for Starly, who jumps right down, goes right in front of Inferno, completely baits out that Suzu, but Starly gets completely melted down after the conclusion of that Wraith form of the Shadow Step, Which just sucks, finds a pick onto blue, and there's a little bit of a back and forth in favor of Dream Eaters once again, but right underneath their noses, despite be the ones being up in numbers, the point is going to be flipped right towards Cat Plague, right in the middle of the fight here. Still going to be a nice cleanup by Chinese Hino. However, we lost about 10% from that, and we also have a couple of ultimates being built up for Cat Plague.
Yeah, and talking about Cat Plague, they will have Nuben's Kitsune Rush. Same with Inferno's ultimate coming up, but as well Spazzy. If you are Dream Eaters UNDVA, you're going to have a bunch to use, maybe 4 coming up, but Kitsune Rush is popped.
Ooh, Kitsune Rush is popped. So is a Suzu in response to the Terror Surge. We also hear the downpour coming through from Inferno, but unfortunately, I don't think there's any much of a follow-up able to be seen from the side of VA Cat Plague. And my, Bridget is getting active in this backline!
Yeah, I mean, Brig has been insane up on this Lucio, and as we get to see, Brig does have this, Deep Matrix ready to go, and if you are Dream Eaters, you have 2 DPS ultimates, so you really don't gotta worry about anything if you're heading up against VA Cat Plague, but yeah, if you are the Cat Plague here, you need something to work.
I mean, the overclock might be a good option. Does find Brig, but I mean, the Death Blossom from Stardy even better. Tiger still has their own, has their own overclock in the back pocket. Losing their Reaper means they gotta pop it for free, get a couple of headshots in, and now they gotta look out for Blue, who I believe is still alive. Ooh, meanwhile alive?
Well,
very nicely done.
Yeah, Blue did just get picked there by Tiger, but yeah, very well done. If you are the UNDVA side, that was very one-sided, right? You really controlled the side of Cat Plague, but now you're up into the, I believe people love to call this university, if I'm sure of it.
Yes, this is university. Yep.
I think so. Okay, so university, we got VA Cat Plague, which was on a Ramatra, and Inferno will be up on this. And as we get to see, Blue will be playing the Mei, so they're going to be able to side with the perks of, you know, self-healing with the ice, where it kind of like freezes the opponent whenever you step up in. But Blue can also look for these walls here while Inferno sets up for these engages. So this should be a good look for VA Cat Plague to get their head back up into the game.
I've always liked the rotation that VA Cat Plague is utilizing here. They have a lot of natural cover. You're maybe on the low ground, but you're also going to be able to force Dream Eaters to get off the high ground in order to contest the objective in about 7 seconds here. And sorry, just gets called out immediately by the rush factor that Cat Plague has at their backside. Now, again, here it is. We have to drop down. The Vortex does make Brig get off of the high ground and gets called out, run down by Spazzy and Inferno. Suzu does get utilized, but to no avail, and almost like a complete reversal we saw on Control first round. Cat Plague gets their first point in their favor.
Yeah, and we are here. Blue just deep in the Brig, which that is very, very good if you are Blue in VA Cat Plague, but Dream Eater, you don't have Brig yet, but you're getting to see Stardy up onto this Mei here for Dream Eater. So if you are both of the Meis here, maybe still look for the walls, try and get open opportunities for your tank and your team to engage.
Nubin coming up on that Casino Rush a little bit faster than Myro will in the end of the day. The wall does come through from the side of Blue, kind of separates Chinese Dino from their team for a little bit there. Forces the fortify, forces the ice also from Stardy, and there's a trade-off. Blue for Brig. However, Kaido's trying their best to not get clipped off of this fight. Here comes a Casino Rush. Kaido doesn't get find any sort of survivability, and everyone's getting pushed into his little room. Chinese Dino flicking back and forth, just to make sure we get that extra power and damage in front of the face of Cat Plague. And just like that, we've expended one ultimate, a trade-off actually of the rushes. It's gonna be Dream Eaters coming in on top.
Yeah, Dream Eaters doing a better job here. They have this Ursa ultimate ready to go. But as well, Tiger is going to have this Sojourn ult, so you could possibly see Tiger up on this upper VA Cat Plague. They got 2 DPS ultimates, so if they wanted to look for a Blizzard here, they definitely can.
Ooh, and the Javelin actually gets clipped through the side of the shield there. Here comes the Terror Surge. Spazzy unfortunately had to cancel the Deadeye, roll out of it before they were a victim of that ultimate. So really good way of utilizing that Terror Surge in favor of Chinese Dino. Because the Overclock also being expended. Doesn't really find too much besides a lot of pressure being put onto Inferno. Here comes the Blizzard. Here comes also the Sound Barrier. Chinese Dino tries to get out of it with the Fortify and the Suzu accompaniment, but unable to survive any longer. We can get the last pick on Blue from Tiger. That's massive. They get their one before the rest of the team has to regroup in the spawn room.
Yeah, so here we go. VA Cat Plague Inferno with their Annihil ready to go. That could be an ultimate that VA Cat Plague can get up onto Dream Eater's UNDVA if they were to engage off of a corner opposition. But you get to see Stardy with this Blizzard and Brig with this ult. So if you're Dream Eaters, all you gotta do is position up in this room pretty well, coordinate it with your tank, and say, hey, we could use an ultimate and take this fight.
We're taking on the right side, forces the entryway, but that's even better. Blizzard coming through, even better Suzu from Nubin, saving both Spazzy and Kaidos. We trade off our Soj for the Lucio, but the Annihilation from behind startles Stardy for a second there. They get put down. And we've traded off our Maze. We trade off, again, our, here it goes. Trying to go for the Spirit on the high noon, narrowly whiffs it, and Chinese Dino only gonna be able to not only flip it, but just stall a tiny bit longer before we have 90% on the board for Cat Plague. Now they're gonna be pushing up to make sure no one can touch this objective.
Yeah, talking about Caplake here, they have been playing a lot better than what we got to see up on Gardens. And Spazzy, with the pickup on the Tiger and Stardy in Weimar going down here, if you are VA Caplake, this has just been a great look for you. And you're Chinese here, you're unfortunately going to get picked. And yeah, VA Caplake, you're going to be moving on to this point sector 3. So yeah, I gotta say, VA Caplake, they locked up in there. And if Inferno wanted to use the Ramatra again here, I think this is a great opportunity for it.
I think so as well. As we move over to this objective, where you do like to see the dive a little bit more often here. University is very much favored towards the composition that Caplake was running with the Ramatra, with the Mei. That's just Brawl Haven if you want some sort of break from the other compositions that Oasis does offer. Chinese hero going back to the Orisa still works here for sure. I would love to see, yeah, I'm gonna say I would love to see the Hazard come make a reappearance because of the fact that this map is really good for a dive. So Blue going over to the Echo, Spazzy on the Tracer. Caplake knows what they want to play here. You know what, gonna be sticking with the tried and true.
Yeah, so VA Caplake, they're gonna be out of this one with the TP. A little bit of a rotation from them, but yeah, they have a great upper advantage to this one because Inferno is playing that Hazard as you quoted. So let's see what happens against Inferno and Chinese Ino.
Really good lineup on the Spear. Actually calls out Blue in the air, and Blue can't really get healed up too often until Nubin actually looks up and helps their Echo out, which they absolutely do. Now, I was going to mention the rotation that Dream Eaters took. They forced Caplake off that high ground that we were originally seeing Inferno kind of hopping around. Chinese one only to be on the objective contesting it. Here's a spear, here's the block gets interrupted. We go for the javelin for displacement purposes. We start off on Stardy, but we finish off the tank easily enough. No cooldowns ready for Chinese as they had to back up a bit, wait for that spin to come back online. And this point should go in the favor of Dream Eaters as unfortunately Caplake is missing their tank for now. Oh, and they stagger onto Blue is really not what you needed at the moment.
Yeah, so Dream Eaters, Unova is looking pretty good with Chinese Hino, and I will say, you look at Chinese, then they have this ultimate economy over Inferno at the moment. So Chinese, if they wanted to, they can pop this Orisa ultimate here very, very shortly. But the Caplake, they're looking pretty good up in their economy by far. They're almost going to have this Kitsune Rush and this Pulse Bomb to position off of or to aggress. So yeah, if you're the Caplake, maybe if Nubin wanted to, once they charge, they could go in with that Kitsune.
Oh, here comes the attempt of a dive from Inferno. It gets shut down by Chinese Hino with the land spin. Now it's just with the Spazzy to find a way to annoy the backline. We have a trade-off of the continued rushes once again. Everyone's playing in it. We have the Soundberry ready for a break. She is actually going to be utilizing it right here, right now. And now it's just up to another Soundberry from Kaidos as a response. Terror Surge gets popped open because no one's going to be able to have that extra overhealth from Kaidos' Sound Barrier. And just like that is an ult trade-off. We saw the downpour, we saw the duplicate as well from Blue. Doesn't really get too much besides to pick up the Tiger, but Chinese Hino is just not dying during all these exchanges.
Yeah, and I like how Chinese Hino is playing here up on this Orisa. It's definitely overriding the momentum here for VA Caplake, but you get to see Blue switch up onto the Genji here, so a little bit of a difference from Caplake by far. Can they get back up into this one? I really don't know, because economy-wise for their ults, not looking too good against Dream Eaters. They have two ultimates up in the bank if you are Eaters, and Tiger, you're going to be able to pop.
Ooh, but we're going to pop Myro out of the fight. And we also completely negate the overclock. Blizzard does get used here, does get progged open in this last engagement. I think as a last resort, I'm not sure if I agree with it just because we were down to by the time Starry was able to throw the Blizzard out. Ooh, and the spray. Yes, Inferno, feel yourself right there. Boom. We flip it right over at 9920. Here it comes. Caplake's now starting to build up on that pulse and the rush.
Yeah, so now Caplake have a chance here to get back up onto this one. Kitsune Rush, as you quoted, and Pulse. But looking at the last fight here, Dream Eaters had a perfect chance, right, if they used those ultimates precisely against VA Caplake. But we have Nubin, which was 1 HP. Same with Blue. They are getting low with You Are the Cats.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful engagement coming in from the side of course, the Dream Eaters. Forcing Inferno to go around the bend, gets speared, tries to go for a dive, gets interrupted by Chinese Hino. forces you to fortify really early on. Go back to the objective with the spear spin, and can we find a target? It's gonna be, oh, for a second, I thought that was gonna cancel the Casino Rush. That would have been absolutely wonderful, but Rush does get proc here from Cat Plague. So does the Downpour. Chinatown is super low, and I don't think they can get care in time. I lied. Brick comes in with the clutches of sound barriers to get the Terror Surge off. All this is break that wall from the Hazard. Chinese gonna kind of somehow not dying during all these exchanges. Gets the Fortify off with the overhealth. Tries to get the spear on the retreating Tracer. Tiger in the mess of it all goes down for the count. Another freeze comes through from Stardy. They die during it. No one's frozen. It's still a fight for the ages as we try to solve the objective as long as possible. I think Dreamers has to honestly regroup here as they've lost too many of their soldiers.
Yeah, and I am very impressed here by VA Cat Plague. Now they have turned the tables. You're looking at this 80% mark. You got Blue with the blade ready to go, and if you are the Lucio player up on the side of Cat Plague, all you got to do is speed Blue up in to get some devastational damage on Dream Eaters. But yeah, if you are Tiger though, you're only going to have that ultimate for Dream Eaters, so both of the teams likewise only have one.
That's the first one going down. Nuban gets a trade off. We're trying to find the Venture. Venture can end Blue right now with the shield that they do get with all their abilities, and it works out beautifully. Oh my goodness, now it's Chinese Hino going up against Inferno with the rest of the team here. Inferno does find their one before inevitably going down for the count. It's just Spazzy trying their best here to stall the point until the rest of the team comes back. Gree hasn't extended. We're going for the blinks, going around the circle here, ring around the rosy. Pulse goes out, gets nothing besides their own death. We go, oh, you saw that spear? Oh my god, they knew. Yikes. Wonderful clutch from the Dream Eaters.
Yeah, Dream Eaters, wonderful work here up on your Oasis. But I will say, if you are the Cat Plague, not a bad showing. You had your, opportunities and potential. And I gotta say, both of the teams have been matching each other. The tempo has been there. Even with the, composition switch-ups where Cat Plague went to Ramatra and ran that Hazard. But, yeah, I gotta say, both of the teams have been, overly, matching each other. And looking at this next map, this could basically be the same turnout of where one of the teams can take a point, but VA Cat Plague do need to equalize that score.
1000%. It was so close at the same time. The blade would have been amazing, but the thing about the Venture when you try to 1v1 them is the fact that they have those adaptive shields, not adaptive shields, just regular shields that get procced every time they use one of their abilities. So you would think you're killing the Venture with the blade, but then they proc Barry, they go for the drill bash, and suddenly they survive a lot of these engages that Blue is trying to shut down, and then unfortunately, after that, the momentum just kind of shifted right in favor of the Dream Eaters, and they were able to clutch out the 99-99 win. The 100-99 win on round 3 of Oasis. Beautifully done. But Cat Plague has something there. Their Hazard comp is really good. They have a wonderful Ramatra comp, so I would try to go for a map and mode that really benefits and enables those types of compositions to be played against the Dream Eaters, who are very comfortable with that Orisa composition.
Yeah, and to talk about, next map or even hero bans, if I were to say anything about the hero bans for these two teams, Dream Eaters obviously need something that VA Cat Plague aren't going to be able to use. And if you are Dream Eaters, maybe just target focus the tank. We got to see Hazard come out, Ramatra come out. Those were two valuable picks from the side of VA Cat Plague that were useful for them. But taking that out of the scene here could switch up everything. And, having that, Dream Eaters could run over VA Cat Plague here once again. But VA Cat Plague have a perfect opportunity, too, where they can come back with that hero ban to possibly banning a tank support or DPS.
1000%. And when you are seeing the fact that we have now shifted over to New Junk City as our map to pick here, going over a Flashpoint, it's going to be interesting to see the bans at the same time. We might be seeing the Orisa ban from the jump just because Orisa does have some sort of value given onto New Junk City, or we can actually just hinder her by shooting her knee a little bit, shoot one of the tanks, shoot one of the DPSs that help render her more impactful than they would usually be. Now, again, as a reminder, the last bans we did see with the Torb and the Moira, so those two cannot be banned per the team that they were banned from, but the opposite team can re-ban them if anything. So I do, as I was looking at the team sheets, as we are getting our bans listed here, I do see, I'm pretty sure the Moira ban was a targeted ban towards Nubin, as in their additional information, they're like Moira smiley face. I love that for you, bestie. Very funny. But
Yeah.
as you can see, the reminder of the bans, we did see Cat Plague ban Torbjorn, so they could go for another ban in their favor. I mean, I would just go out, maybe a protection ban, and it can also be an option. We can ban, you know, I saw people ban like Life Weaver in pro play just to protect a Juno or a Ana ban for a map like this.
Like a throwaway.
Yeah, like a throwaway ban. Like Life
could
Weaver,
definitely see that.
unless you have like the top 500. Not even the top 200 Life Weaver on the other team.
Like the
no
pro
reason.
goat, yeah.
Like, you know.
Maybe Rack Attack's there up in that scene. I don't know. Via Cat Plague, yeah, you have opportunity here to take a huge potential ban here from this other side, and looking at it here, they're going to be taking away the Kiri. So you're not going to have Suzus. You're not going to have, you know, multiple TPs with that insane perk. I love that personally, because you can just get out of situations. So no need to worry there. But yeah, I got to say, taking the Kiri out here is a great opportunity for VA Cat Plague to get back up in it.
Which it does give way to, you can go for the Joker Queen. That Suzu will not be a factor in your Rampage. The only thing you really got worried for is maybe the Sound Barrier. And even then, you can kind of kill right through it if your team is coordinated enough for that play. And on New Junk City, she reigns supreme 9 times out of 10. And with the Kiriko ban, you can also see the Arisa make a comeback because you don't have to deal with Suzu on your Terra Surge. Two very important characters that do benefit from the lack of a Kiriko opposing them. So very interesting. And I actually, because of the Kiriko ban, I would look more towards a tank ban because of that. I would actually almost prioritize a ban on the Junker Queen, on the Arisa, maybe even Vermatra, just because we know that VA Cats have an exceptional mindset to play the brawl. They have that hive mind mentality. They have what it takes to out brawl the Dream Eaters. So that's, if I was Dream Eaters, I would be thinking about that in the back of my mind.
Yeah, and let's see what happens here. And, you know, I totally agree with you here up on the tank, but it's going to be DPS. So taking out the Mei here, you don't got to worry about walls, that little freeze perk whenever you're self-healing, but as well, the Cat Plague, they have chosen Kiriko, so no need for to worry for those two heroes. But, yeah, I got to say, good bans in between. This takes out of the compositions that they want to run. So maybe we don't get to see the Ramatra. Maybe we see more of the JQ rush here. Or Malka could be seen here.
I rarely ever really see a Mei on Junk City, just because you're forced to play a little bit slower unless you have Lucio or a Juno with you, of course. But this does hinder the brawl, and without outright banning tank, you can kind of just hinder the brawl by negating that win condition of getting a wall off and, you know, running down on a single enemy that's been separated from the team. As we load into the game here, interesting comps can be seen. We can absolutely still play that Hazard. We might even see the Queen. Like I said, there's no Suzu. There's no threat of not getting value from your Rampage, Bleed, and Anti-Nade, or Anti, excuse me. So lots of things can be happening here. I will love to see something silly. I would love to see like something a little more unconventional. I love seeing unconventional heroes be played, but as we get our players situated and see what we might be seeing in the first couple of seconds of New Junk City, I love these little ducks so much. They are so cute. Little roadhogs.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the masks, right? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see that. Even like a little bit of like a mohawk like look with it too.
They're little
That's
guys. They're just little guys. And look at the comms. I mean, Nubin, what do I say, guys? Nubin wants to play Moira today. I'm actually kind of shocked it's not under their most played hero or favorite hero. They actually have Kiriko and Ana as respectively each of them. But, you know, Moira's fun on Flashpoint. But with a monkey? Hold on. I'm looking at Inferno.
All right. Yeah, Inferno is saying, welcome to the jungle, if you are VA Cat Plague, but as well, Dream Eaters, they are running out here up on this JQ Rush composition, so a little bit of different favors in between both of the comps.
Ooh. I just want to see how the Dream is going to work. I mean, they're going in for a full rush dive here. There's not much of a dive to be seen, but they're just rushing right in like a pseudo-brawl. Already seeing the Fade get extended from Nubin there, but they have to be a little bit long. We have Blue on the Sombra here as well for that extra bit of damage with the Virus and Hack combo. goes straight on through. Here comes Adventure from behind. Starty, people kind of forgot about them for a second. Kaidos gets called out with the knife, and Chinese Rhino is just going straight in with the aggression. Inferno has to be so careful because there's a Reaper and a Venture on you. Excuse me. There's a Venture on you, forcing them back up. Blue also super low. I think both of them, yeah, going down to Brig once again. Just being uncontested on this Lucio.
Yeah, maybe Brig is being me up in a, you know, a game like this where I just absolutely go crazy. But yeah, Brig is basically being insane. I like this aggression style from this Lucio player, but as well, you're looking at a Moira that has this coalescence up on both sides. So expect those ultimates to be popped here, heading into this engage from VA Cat Plague probably.
Oh, big knife, even better coalescence, just to sustain. Opposing coalescence is going through, but it's gonna be Dream Eaters like it's a little bit more value as it was used more offensively than defensively, and nothing. Yeah. That was such a quick fight. My goodness.
Yeah, definitely quick. The tempo was there. The ACAT Plague though, a little unfortunate losing Nubin there with that coalescence, but Dream Eaters, they have a great ultimate economy by far. They have 2 to 3 ultimates, and JQ was hacked. Okay.
Oh, time for the nothing I believe happening. Here comes the death blessing from Spazzy. Gets 3 actually for their efforts, just sacrificing their tank for the win. 9-9 to now risking flipping over. Thankfully, good clutch now last fight scenario because it would have been really bad. And then Brig does not get out. Ooh, the hack does not come through, but we stand a little bit too still. Get virus, but we survive.
Yeah, they do survive. And the ACAT Plague, they have 2 ultimates to go up into this one. A third coming up from the Lucio player. If you are blue, maybe you can look for a great EMP, and that is what's going to happen.
Ooh, good EMP, even better hack. They do find Stardy. She's not going to be in this fight any longer. Neither is Brig. Both of them going down, and hopefully we just die fast. Yeah, should be able to get the Rave respawn. And does Mymora get out? Unfortunately, Myro does not. Now we have seen Dream Eaters kind of back themselves into last fight territory.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno with the name is up on fire right now. Like, cooking. 5-star dish for VA Cat Plague. Inferno has been a menace. And I will say, Inferno has his Primal Rage ready to go. That could be something seen to aggress off of here to get this point for themselves here if VA Cat Plague wanted to choose that ultimate choice. But Dream Eaters, though.
Oh, here comes the Overclock and the Tectonic Shock and the Sound Barrier. I mean, Dream Eaters investing everything they have into this fight. So is Cat Plague saving the Sound Barrier, and why we'd have to use it. Looks like we are going to be seeing a trade-off 2-for-1 in favor of Cat Plague. Nubin following close behind after the closest gets open by Myro, which I think is going to be the winning factor for the UNDVA crew. They flip it right underneath the noses of Cat Plague, and the Rampage has to be used just to secure the victory. It's just the DPS versus the tank and support of Dream Eaters, and they find the win, get the Carnage off. Can we get the Somber before they TP out? We do. Brig, again, they are just popping off, as always, with this Lucio.
Yeah, UNDVA's given us that Pokemon flashback, not gonna lie. But yeah, Brig has been insane up on this Lucio. Credit to them. But I gotta say, the ACAT Plague is doing the same. They have been pretty sustainable in between those situations. Both of the teams looking very, very good heading up into the secondary. But yeah, a hack up onto Chinese here. So if you are UNDVA, maybe back out of this, maybe be a little more protective.
I'll almost go for a Sound Barrier here. You know that they don't have the Rampage that they had just expended it, so I would almost just go in with an aggressive beat here. Blue gets the kill onto starter, so we have 2 DPSs that are gone from the fight in general. Here comes the Sound Barrier just in the nick of time to help save Inferno's life. Dream Eaters has nothing for this besides, oh, Inferno still gets melted down. We boop Spazzy into Tiger. Oh no! It is all down. It's all done. Cat Plague should be able to win this fight off pretty impressively. Nubin gets seeked out by, of course, Stardy, but that's all they're going to be able to do. Oh my goodness. I'm still reeling over the boop. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah. The boop was an insane play from the side of EA, but you know, looking at it, Inferno still looking very spicy there with that 92%. They've always been cooking up in the kill feed, right? They've been getting pick after pick, but you look at the ACAP Plague, they are with 3 ultimates at the moment, so if they wanted to combo something, they can definitely.
Comes the Coalescence that you're talking about earlier, they have to use something. There's 2 of them going on. The Coalescence, the Rampage comes through, negates the healing from Nubin, and the Primal has to be procced here just to survive from the bleeding and anti of that Rampage. The rest of the team, however, of the Cat Plague behind Inferno's back is just making sure they clean up the fight easily against the Dream Eaters. Now, if we go fast, we can get a last-minute touch for my UNDVA crew.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think Inferno kind of bullied Brig there up in the little corner space, just, you know, punching with the Primal. But, yeah, the ACAP Plague Blue looking good here with their EMP ready to go. Beat Matrix almost coming up for the A as well, but Dream Eaters, they got 3, and oh my goodness.
To trade off again of Tiger and Blue. Here comes the Tectonic Shock from Stardy. Brig able to get the Sound Bear off right in the nick of time against the Cat Plague, who have now nothing going for them in this last engagement, but won't be last fight on this objective, as we are going to be seeing probably a flip in favor of the side of the Blue. Dream Eater is still chasing down this Lucio, who is refusing to die. Blue still being a menace in the back, but has to back up and regroup with the rest of the team here.
So, looking at the ACAP Plague here, they saved some time for the ones coming out of spawn, so this could be just a bit of a quicker engage for the ACAP Plague. But Dream Eaters, they did get the cap here. They're looking good. But look at their ult economy. They only have Tiger's ult of Sojourn, not any else. They are coming up on Chinese, but that aggression from the side of VA.
Oh, that's really bad. Losing Inferno right in the middle of that fight, and we expended the sound barrier a little bit later. Katos does find... Ooh, wait, both DPS are down. We also seeing one support is no longer in the fight. Death Blossom has been procced early enough, and just like that, good cleanup, good pickings from Cat Plague. 1-1 so far on New Junk City.
They're back. They are catching them all, if you are VA Cat Plague. But as well, they are moving forward to this 3rd point, and looking at the 3rd sector, you got the inside space to play. So if these teams wanted to play a little precisely, they can definitely. And you look at the ultimate economy, Hino has this JQ ult that can aggress into the side of VA Cat Plague to possibly take out that Coalescence.
Ooh. Coalescence already used by Nubin really aggressively. I love to see it, but the Rampage is still ready for a Chinese Hino, and everyone's in a beautiful straight line. Gets 3. Spazzy is able to Swift Step away, Shadow Wraith away from it, but not for very long. Gets picked up by Tiger, but Chinese Rhino a little bit behind. Level 25 HP. Blue seeks it out, gets the kill off. Inferno still active and ready to continue this fight off. And I must say, the Winston is working out wonderfully on New Junk City, something I would never have expected otherwise.
Yeah, Blue is doing a great job here up on the Sombra, but the Winston as well from Inferno. Very, very clutch moment for the ACAP Plague to get back up in an out-1, finding those picks in that last situation fight. But still 1-1 here. They are running with the percentage. If you are VA Cat Plague, EMP on the line for VA. But Dream Eaters, they got Briggs ultimate of the Matrix, and Chinese and Tiger able to get the initials.
Ooh, 3 picks right off the bat. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Inferno, the only one left in the engagement, just gets seeked out and run down by the brawl of the Dream Eaters.
Yep, so Dream Eaters, they got 2 ultimates up on the line here. And looking at the Dream Eater side, they now have this point, right? So if they wanted to wait, possibly even force out that EMP, I see Blue popping the EMP if they come back, because if you're Inferno here, you're probably coordinating a dive. So the Cat Plague, they could definitely look good up in this.
Here comes Tectonic Shock right in the back line. Starting, unfortunately, she has to back up almost immediately. There comes a Sound Barrier to save everybody from this massive 5-man EMP from Blue, but no follow, unfortunately. Again, good survivability from the side of the Dream Eaters UNDVA Unks. Oh my goodness, we're down our tank, we're probably down our Sombra as well, and our DPS. It is another clean pickup, and we get the stagger off on the Moira, which this Moira fight might last another 10 years. This is gonna be really difficult to deal with. Oh, but her survivability is so good. Oh my god! Good headshot from Tiger.
Yeah. Yep, Nubin is out here, but a little unfortunate from the side of VA. But yeah, a lot of aggress coming from the side of Dream Eaters. Was that necessary to pop goal?
It might have been just to make sure that they don't touch. Because otherwise Inferno would have absolutely been all over the objective had we not. We also have at least the the Rampage and the Overclock ready for Dream Eater, so it won't be horrible, but
Yeah.
Cat Plague has 4 ults ready, you know?
Yeah, they're gonna be, you know, doing everything that the VA Cat Play can do with those 4, and, you know, especially even Blue playing the Sombra. You got the perk of, you know, healing your team if they do have it, but VA Cat Plague looking good here, and the Coalescence will be popped for this first.
Ooh, big Coalescence coming in, but we still lose Spazzy in the thick of it all. We're trying to find our Sombra, who has a TP out for safety, and gets sought out by Brig again on this Lucio, almost being unchecked the entire time. Newman finds their one, but it won't be for too long. Primal does get utilized here in this engagement just for survivability, but point goes over to Dream Eaters. Now they're on match point for New Junk City.
Yep, so Dream Eaters, they have 2 up in their alt economy, 3rd coming up from Stardy, and I gotta say here, if you are Dream Eaters, all you gotta do is wait for VA Cat Plague. Maybe if you want to force out ultimates, you could definitely do it, because Inferno needs to coordinate a dive here, so if they read the dive from Inferno, they could definitely look good up in this situation.
I want to see this Death Blossom get insane value, which it does kind of. Ooh, but we can survive. We definitely survived through the Rampage with the sound barrier. Very nicely done from Catplay just to kind of clean up after the fight really didn't go as planned. Still looking good in their favor. We do lose Kaidos, but we have Blue still being able to give a little bit of healing to the team. We don't need a Lucio. All we need is support Sombra, who gets called out by Stardy the entire time. Now Stardy now being looked at by Inferno, who has to be in the never-ending death of reloading. Couldn't finish off the kill. Chinese Rhino going down by themselves, or getting super low, excuse me. Now we can finally go in against, ooh, good Coalescence. I was gonna say able to find Stardy, but I heard the Coalescence, I heard Myro coming through, and everyone's gonna be slipping that. It's the last engagement, by the way, Nyah. MP comes through, but just not enough. It is a 3-1 on New Junk City, putting Dream Eaters at match point for the grand finals of the midseason bracket.
Yep, Dream Eaters eating their way towards that victory, and yeah, if you are VA Cat Plague, though, you are definitely not out of this. You have Inferno, which has been popping off. Same with the DPS line. Blue even clutching up in some situations. Yeah, both of the teams have phenomenal players up in this stat line. But, yeah, I still expect it to be close here. Heading after this break, you know, it's going to be important to see what VA Cat Plague chooses here, especially with the bans heading into Dream Eaters. But they got to target something that's going to work for them. But, yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say.
For sure, that Kiriko ban allowed that Queen to get insane amounts of value with those Rampages, with the antis at the same time. But we're going to a very quick break as our team, as VA Cat Plague, decides which map and mode to finish things off on, or have the start of a reversal. But we'll be getting back to you in a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back with that map 3.
Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
And we're back with what could be the conclusion of a wonderful grand finals in the EU Masters division for the mid-season. As a reminder, Dream Eaters on their match point in this map 3, VA Cat Plague has the ball in their court. They can choose the map mode and map itself for this possible finisher, or it could be the start of a winning streak for them to secure the W in this grand finals. I'm on by the wonderful Nyah, and again, it's been a cat fight between these two giants of teams.
Yeah, both teams are scratching each other here, and Dream Eaters, they are looking a little better than VA Cat Plague, but the competition is still there for VA Cat Plague. It's been a bit back and forth seen, but Dream Eaters, they're finding situations a lot better than VA Cat Plague after that last map. First map, though, of Oasis, that was extremely close in my eyes. I still think VA Cat Plague can get back up into it, but is it going to be a little difficult? Probably. It's been, scenarios where you need to find some answers, but Dream Eaters are doing it just a bit quicker. So yeah, if you're VA Cat Plague here, you got opportunities to just be a little faster than the side of Dream Eaters.
And when you want to be faster, you want to be a little bit brawlier, you know where we go to, Nyah? We're going to King's Row. Oh my goodness. This is what I was looking for from Cat Plague. They tried going to New Junk City, where Brawl does tend to have a lot of value, but they just couldn't. I don't think they had the opportunity because the Kiriko was banned. Now that we're back on the King's Row, we can have the Kiriko back. We can have the Ramattra back, ideally, when they're on the attack and defense side. And I think that's where we're going to be seeing a lot more value coming in from the Cat Plague. Now, Dream Eaters, they know this. In the back of their head, they're like, okay, they're going to go Brawl. They're going to go to King's Row. What do we do in response? And it might be a callback to the Orisa here.
Yeah, the Orisa can be picked here. I could also see a little bit of poke heroes coming out from the side of Dream Eaters or VA Cat Plague, especially up on that defense. But attack, it's going to be all Brawl heavy. Dive could be seen, depending if they want to run the Winston. I know we got to see a lot of Winston from Inferno there. up on our last map, which was New Junk City. But it is 2-0, and VA Catholic need to find something that best fits them. But looking at it, we're going to be heading towards our bans here.
Yep, going over to our bans right here, right now. And again, we did see the May ban a little bit earlier. Actually, on New Junk City, we did see the May get banned on the side of UNDVA. So VA Cat Plague, they're kind of safe in that regard. They can play the May, they can play a more traditional brawl, given that they don't get their Ramatra ban. So I would actually have my first ban not be a support, not be DPS, but actually be the tank. Not only can you kind of limit with an Orisa ban against the side of UNDVA, we can also allow ourselves to play Ramatra without any sort of hindrance. And that's kind of where my mindset would be if I was in this team, in this predicament where I'm down by 2 games here. However, UNDVA can also bring it back on the second ban. They can ban, they can ban someone important for supporters. They can ban the Lucio here.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Lucio here. I could even see Brig getting taken out. Anna, even a Juno here, possibly, for the VA Camp Plague to choose. But, yeah, I gotta say, I agree with the support. But it's actually going to be the target focus up onto Orisa. So, not too bad there. I feel like this is a great pick for VA Cat Plague now. And, which they can play their Ramatra against a different tank that, UNDVA is going to bring out.
1000%. With the Orisa ban, like I was saying, that allows them to not only protect the Ramatra, but also means that you're not going to be able to see Dream Eaters play arguably one of their best characters in their pool, as we saw how oppressive she was on Oasis. Now, Dream Eaters has a little bit of thinking to do. Do we want to ban a Lucio? Do we want to really hinder the Ramatra, force him onto a Juno for that speed ring pickup? Do we want to maybe take away the Kiriko again? Because they can have that ban, just that Cat Plague cannot. So we can see a couple of things being being thought about here as we tick down on this ban timer. I wouldn't also mind to see like a Pharah ban, as she has been pretty prominent on King's Row as of late. We can also see like a Sojourn ban, an Ash ban, some heroes that are pretty popular to be played
Widowmaker?
with the Brawl. Widowmaker can also be banned if you know that they're probably going to go the Widow for the first pick, but if they stick to the Widow, it's like, okay, that might be a reasonable ban. But as we see, they're going to ban the Kiriko again. So double Kiriko ban here from either side. One definitely to hinder the other here, and I think this is going to be pretty massive for an hindrance of VA Cat Plague.
Yep, and maybe the Cats can claw their way back up the post. Who knows? But the Cat Plague, they do ban this Orisa, and Dream Eaters, they will be banning this Kiri. So stuff will definitely change up in these compositions for both of these sides. I expect backlines to be just a tad bit different, but as well the tank coming out of the Dream Eaters, right? This is going to be a different opportunity for them to show that they are just a bit better than VA Cat Plague up in those scenarios, like how we've been seeing. But VA Cat Plague, now you got an opportunity to play who you want to play, and yeah, this is the series to watch.
It is, and here are, of course, the head-to-heads for these possible last 10 people to play on this third map. Could be a 3-0 win for Dream Eaters. It could be a start of something beautiful for VA Cat Plague. No substitutes from what I can see. It is just the same people duking it out, going head-to-head once again on King's Row here. Could go either way. I would love to see an Anna from either side. What happened?
I like the choices of, not bringing up in your substitutions, keeping your starting players. Either way, if you do need a fresh pair of legs, I think the starters are the ones to do it. It's been a very, very farewell, sign from both. It's been great. Not too 50-50. It's been pretty dominant, I'd probably say, for both. But, yeah, this is King's Row. But, yeah. Kings is kings.
King's Row. We know the basics of it. Play brawl, play fast, play up. The three basics of King's Row. At least for everybody. Yes, of course it's a blimp. I think it's supposed to be no Sutter looking around or whatever. But as we start getting our starting lineup, so you're gonna be seeing the defense side lock in with the queen first, which is kind of interesting. You're definitely forced to play around more cover than, more natural cover at least, than having a shield with like a Reinhardt or a Sigma or a Ramatra like we see Inferno. Definitely leaning towards both backlines ripping with the Moira Lucio, which I'm a big fan of personally.
Yeah. Moira Lucio is going to be quick for both of the teams. I expect it to roll with the compositions. But look at VA Cat Plague. Blue is back up onto this May, which we did get to see this up on Oasis, I believe. And, you know, Inferno is back up on the Ramatra. So if Blue and Inferno wanted to do a bit of communication in between these scenario fights, they could definitely look for these opening opportunities to get these picks on Dream Eaters.
Okay, starting off real strong here. I love blue on the May. Had a lot of value, had it banned actually for a whole map. So, see back on where May should be played is wonderful to see. Now, Stardy is in the back line, putting a lot of pressure on the rotation from VA Cat Plague. Actually disrupts it just enough for targeting the first pick onto Kaidos. And then everyone just rolls right on over. The wall was futile as Inferno gets cut off from the rest of the team here. And Stardy is able to keep making blue and Spazzy back up. Blue and Nubin back up, but that last pick on blue did not gonna be what you want to see, but they are gonna get to gain the refresh, the wave refresh with Inferno.
Yeah, can you believe that the Moiras are almost built up basically halfway to their coalescence? Like, that's crazy. Both teams are showing that they can put up in the work, they can heal their players, and yeah, if you're Dream Eaters here, you're doing a great job, but you've got to be aware of this VA Cat Plague side. Blue could wall you off, and if they do find that opportunity, picks could be siding for them.
Reaching over into the hotel, I would love to see a rotation around the back end, which I think they're not gonna be able to do. They are seeing, of course, VA Cat Play get pushed off the objective. They're so close to that first tick. Chinese has to come in contest. We get a trade-off of the Lucio and the Venture. Coalescence on either side ripped open to help sustain and put a little bit of pressure on the other opposing side, but it's gonna be Nubin getting a little bit more value than Myro could. One objective already in favor. Nubin getting 2 picks. Oh, it is the Nubin show, and we're just living in it.
Yep, Newman is setting VA Cat Plague in a good scenario here. They're going to have 4 minutes and 45 seconds, and yeah, looking at that ultimate economy, you're going to have a Nile, Blizzard, Spazzy with theirs as well. But Dream Eaters, they can find a scenario in between these fights. You're going to have Chinese, I know, almost to that JQ, Tiger to match that Sojourner, but as well Stardy playing that Venture. That could be a little, you know, devastational if Stardy was able to find opening, you know, positions.
Stardy single-handedly was able to bait out the Biotic Orb and the Vortex from the side of VA Cat, but just standing on the high ground. Blizzard going to be expected here. No one going to be able to get anything started, but it's Stardy who is right in and getting a little bit too active, forces the Rampage to be expended here. Spazzy tries to go for that overclock, gets one off on the Tiger, and now Inferno is like, okay, my team's dead, I need to push up and go in with his Annihilation. Everyone's speed right back out, but unfortunately my JQ kind of called out by themselves, gets destroyed by the Annihilation, and this car can now move easily and smoothly through the streets.
Yeah, and VA Cat Plague, they invested there. You know, Inferno used, Spazzy used, I think Blue used, Blizzard might have been popped.
Yep.
But yeah, Dream Eaters though, they have a good opportunity heading up into Cat Plague. You know, either way, if Cat Plague have these 2 support ultimates, I still feel like DPS can have this more momentum and morale heading up into this.
Oh, here comes a Tectonic Shock from Stardy, gets shut down by Inferno, who backs up from the side and comes right back in with the aggression. Mario gets called out, gets good coalescence out with Nubin, but it's still looking like the VA Cat Plague show. When it comes to Brawl, they are simply superior, simply more coordinated, simply stronger than Dream Eaters right now. Still be able to contest the cart with just the supports. Brig going down first. I believe Mario should be able to maybe get... Oh no, this kid's chased down by everyone else. And finally, Chinese Hino realizes, I need to mirror this. I need to go a shield hero.
Yeah, needs to work here, especially for Chinese Hino switching over to the Ramatra. You can't match it quite exactly. Play a little defensively for that first. But Dream Eaters, they have Tiger's ultimate to use, but VA Cat Plague, they have been looking pretty phenomenal. And I gotta say, dang, we'll have Blue's ultimate of Blizzard. So if VA Cat Plague wanted to aggress here off of the side of Dream Eaters, they can definitely do it.
Oh, this is a big freeze. Try to go for the blind block on Lucio. Still gets a freeze off regardless.
Nice.
Blue's super low, but gets healed right back up from the side of their team here. Down 2 for Dream Eaters, and I think the momentum is just rolling in favor of VA Cat Plague. This is kind of where King's Road becomes a little bit of a pain to deal with.
Yeah, and I'm not too surprised that VA Cat Plague is doing this as well as they've been doing. We got to see up on Oasis map 1 with this composition, and VA Cat Plague was really standing, but with that, Tiger is able to find Inferno.
That's early, and you also will shut down the Annihilation at the same time with the Overclock. That's massive. Could be a good break for Dream Eaters to get their footing back and get their ult cycling in order, because Spazzy has their own Overclock also ready for this next engagement.
Yep, so if you are VA Cat Plague, that next engagement plan might just be Spazzy's ultimate, but as well, Nuben will have this Coalescence over the other Moira up on the side of UNDVA, which doesn't actually have Coalescence. So you have favors up on both sides here. If the side of Dream... Okay, wait, they are actually cooking.
Wait. I watched Blue walk into the Blizzard. I think they thought they were on the outside, but they get frozen anyway. Inferno was already too in it to, really win it there. Gets shut down, immediately going for a reset. 2 minutes and a little bit less than half of that coming through.
I'm kind of wondering if Brig's going to be looking for a boop, because you get to see the Lucio was positioning up top, but VA Cat Plague, they're trying to find their best, foot in the situation, but I would be a little scared of the Annihil if Chinese Hino can get back up into it.
Oh, Chinese Run is also going to get run down by everyone else. Inferno just not even anywhere close to. There's nothing else that Cat Plague has against his Annihilation from Chinese Rhino. Trade off of the Lucios, but Blue gets called out by the disruptive shot. Disruptive area shot coming in from Spazzy. Oh my goodness. We back up though. We back up despite the fight kind of going a little bit more in favor of Cat Plague for a second there, but I think because the Lucios were gone and they had to just relax.
Yeah, I mean, this is great for UNDVA. They are taking this time out of this time bank for VA Cat Plague, but this is your best scenario situation to engage, and look at them just aggressing up into that.
Overclock ready for Tiger, who's backing up, trying to make the space happen for them. There's 1 down. We can get 2 as we see Nuben try to back up with the rest of the team here. Coalescence is ready for them as Myra Ray proc theirs in this fight. Both DPS ultimates ready for Dream Eaters in the next fight. Blue has the Blizzard. It's gonna be about the Venn diagrams, I think.
Yeah, definitely. VA Cat Plague. I expect this aggression to come into play. They need to get 3 here to have a chance against Dream Eaters. You definitely don't want to go 2 because Dream Eaters can just finish King's Row, right? So they need the 3 to head up into extra time. But yeah, VA Cat Plague, you have something to use, and Nuben will be popping the coal.
Not sure you really find much from the Blizzard from Stardew. Blue still has theirs in the back pocket just in case. Tiger proccing open with the Overclock, starting these things off really strong by getting rid of one of the supports. Annihilation speeding into everybody, but they're so low that he has to hold block, and Inferno's not even in the fight anymore. Now it's just DPS and supports versus DPS and supports, with Chinese Rhinos still getting closer and closer to their own Annihilation. Started coming in with the Venture to help negate the objective and contest it with that berry. Here comes the Blizzard. No one really in it. Starting just cycling around it with the berry. Blue's no longer in the fight. Here's the Annihilation from Chinese Rhino. Zombie has to be expended from Kaidos, but still gonna be a fight to the death. Of overtime has been activated here. Here comes a Colossus from Myro. Will this be the end of the fight with 2 down? I'm pretty sure it absolutely will be. It's just Nuben by themselves, and just like that, it is winnable for Dream Eaters without having to go into extra rounds.
Yep, seen here, Dream Eaters were a lot quicker than the side of VA Cat Plague, but VA Cat Plague had their opportunities. Even, up in that attacking phase, first initial, they didn't look good, but they had some answering picks going into that point capture to escort, and they had 4 minutes and 25 seconds, if I believe, and they pushed it. They went to the secondary. They were a little struggling against Dream Eaters, and whenever they found themselves up in that situation, I think they knew they were backed against the wall because Dream Eaters were always finding these answers to credit themselves in these scenarios, to look into these opening opportunities and say, hey, we know that they're pulling mistakes. We can just do what we usually do and have the ACAT Plague underneath us. So great looks for Dream Eaters Unova, but the ACAT Plague, not the best scenario of looks. You do have two. You can still defend. This is a perfect opportunity for it, but seeing a bit of a spazzy up on the Ash. So more looks of poke here for the side of VA, but Inferno still sticking up onto that Ramatra.
Oh, for sure. I was saying I want to see the Ana come out. Now we're seeing the Juno also come through from Kaidos on the attack side of things. I'm serious, excuse me, the defense side of things. Dream Eater is sticking with the same thing. I think it's working wonderfully for them. So Tiger on the Sojourn and starting on the may have been really, really strong, contending against Spazzy and Blue. Now we go for the Ash on the high ground, goes for the Dynamite, Chinese has a relax, has to go for the Vortex. Double Shields coming out, forces the Nemesis form from one side of things to start things off. Inferno backs up, saves their own form, and it looks like they're looking to rotate around and through the backside of Hotel, coming in to see the objective from behind the defenders, and they go right back, and they're getting pincer. We get walled off by our mate in ice form, and Inferno is not able to survive long enough in the confines of the Alberton Hotel. Oh my goodness, good Anthony comes through, but it might be a little bit too late here to pick it right back up. No Spazzy to help poke out either. Blue stalling the objective as long as they possibly can, but it's just supports trying to back out ASAP.
Yep, and I'm kind of wondering if the ACAT Plague will look for a re-engage. Maybe not. Dream Eaters, they are going to be able to take this one by the looks of it, and yep, they will be able to do it, but Dream Eaters, they have Myra's Coalescence here, and the ACAT Plague, you're going to be looking at Blue's Blizzard. So, two ultimates up on both the sides. Let's see what happens.
We will not be looking at Blue's Blizzard. Blue has dead. We are now going with the Coalescence to continue this onslaught. We leave one in the cart, four rocking forward in the streets of Kings Row, pushing the defenders all the way back, pretty much to second, almost immediately. Myra now coming on the high ground with the rest of the team. They're getting beautifully set. Look at this. The setup here is wonderful. We call out Spazzy. He's trying to go to the high ground. Myra gets out. Spazzy now comes up on the high ground, tries to get a little bit of every something, but they're just getting poked out. Oh my goodness. Cart, not too much progress on it though.
Yeah, and looking at the scenario, finishing here, the ACAT Plague, you're finding yourself in the same scenario as you did before against Dream Eaters, where you need to find more tempo against this side. But the ACAT Plague losing Blue like that is not a good look, but catching people up in the Blizz, maybe.
Blizz was wonderful. Their annihilation was absolutely needed, but Inferno and Chinese are not going in for their own annihilations. Inferno looking a lot cleaner, however, a lot more perked up with the rest of the team rather than from Infernos. Now here's where things could get dicey. You've lost your momentum, then you gotta fight these archways again.
Yeah, and Dream Eaters, they are still sitting good here. They have 4 minutes to re-engage off of, and Blue is actually going to be switching to the junk. So very interesting. Could be dangerous for the side of Dream Eaters, but Dream Eaters do have these DPS that could just send them a little more further.
Oh, here's the Bob forces everyone to back up. They gotta wait that Bob out. Can't even peek the corner for a little, about 10 seconds. Bob now no longer in the equation, gets run away, and there's the Blizzard, there's the wall, and there's Inferno didn't even have a chance to walk away before we get ripped every single cooldown and ultimately have into the force of that Vermatra. The Junkrat does find one, Brig not gonna be in the fight anymore, but Overclock is ready for Tiger to, with all this space available to them. Yeah, they're gonna rip that open. Get the second point.
Yeah. I mean, Dream Eaters, looking at it, they have studied this VA Cat Plague team over and over again, heading up into this series, and they are beating them in these scenarios as it looks to be. But VA Cat Plague, you find yourself in a very, very tough situation. You got to hold for 4 minutes and 20 seconds to have a hope of taking this map. And looking at it, VA Cat Plague is going to run with a Zen and Ana for their backline. It's going to be a little rough with the heals.
A little bit rough, but the damage output you're going to get from the nade, from the Discord Orb, that's going to be great against Chinese Rhino to kind of stuff them out. Of course, I mean, you're a big hitbox as Nyah, so you got to back up away from these icicles that started is definitely throwing out in your face. Backing up around the corner here, they have about less than 4 minutes to act and get this objective to the golden box of victory. Here's the overclock from Tiger, goes up to the high ground, finds one, that being the Zenyatta. Big sleep comes in, but a little bit too late. We still lost our Zenyatta, but the good pickup is we're looking at the soldier, we killed him. Here comes the Junkrat tire right on my tank, which gets broken by Myro. Oh, it's looking wonderful. Nano has to be expended here to save the fight before it goes any which way that we don't want to see from the side of Dream Eaters. Now Inferno going straight in. No annihilation to be procced anywhere. We have a good fight on our hands for Cat Plague.
Alright, so Cat Plague, they slid themselves back in the scenario where they can defend it, and Inferno with their Annihil ready to go. And as well, they got a support ultimate and a DPS. So they got 3 to favor them. Mott as well, Dream Eaters, they got 3 minutes. So it's not over for them. They could still finish this series. And looking at it, Coalescence might just be big.
Cole's big, the Bob is bigger, gets actually booped right in the middle of the fight, right in front of right in front of Jenny's Dino. Thankfully gets shut down by Tiger and the rest of the team here. Now we're waiting for Bray to get and utilize this Sunbear, which might have to come right now, and it's just a little bit hair too late. Chinese Dino not going to able to get any of the effects, but we can still keep this fight going at least enough to back up and wait for this annihilation from Chinese Rhino. But the pick on the blue was massive from Tiger.
Yeah, but I will say the Cat Plague still running with this momentum. And Dream Eaters are a little unlucky, but they have this Annihil. If they just want to walk in, they can.
What annihilation? The Transcend is also too late for Inferno to reap any of the benefits of that ultimate. Now we have the annihilation coming in for a free sort of just walk in. We nano the Junkrat. It burns down Chinese Dino a little bit much longer than expected. But I think that's all we're gonna really see from the defense side. The Cat not able to find the kills needed or the sustain needed with that Doomfist. Tracer recall burned early onwards, but we don't get the blink on the objective. We get booped off, and that's a 3-0 in favor of the Dream Eaters. Super close games, but wonderfully done to win the mid-season grand finals.
Yep, great game, as we just got to see a lot of aggression from both of the sides here. More showing up on the side of Dream Eaters. And, yeah, I will definitely credit the side of Dream Eaters, but as well, you gotta kind of credit the other opposing side, which was VA Cat Plague. They put up a great fight against this side of Dream Eaters, and hey, it was something for both of the teams. So we got to see it for ourselves, but you know, we actually have the hero bands of the series that were chosen, and I actually kind of want to take a look at this because looking at the map 1, right, they picked Torb and Moira, but map 2 and map 3 they had the Kiriko banned twice. So looking at it, they were finding themselves in a unique scenario.
They were. The Kiriko band was really, really strong. I can't lie, from either side on both maps that they were on, but I feel like we could have saved the Mei band for maybe on Kings Row. I understand the resub, but then you gotta deal with the fact that now they're gonna go with like the Ramatra, which, you know, I was actually hoping that we were gonna be swapping off the Dragon Queen a little bit earlier, because that matchup for Dragon Queen is not that favorable to her, for her in the eyes between herself and Ramatra. So to go with the Ramatra Mirror was definitely the saving grace for Dream Eaters that allowed them to break open the defense and the attack of Cat Plague and win the series out. But that's not all we have. We, of course, are going to be having our interview with a victor from the side of Unova Eaters, Dream Eaters, Unova Unks. As we're going to a very quick break, we'll get them all set up and ready for you guys in a couple of minutes. After a riveting 3-map series, albeit close every which step of the way, I am happy to introduce not one, but two of the victors. I have Tiger and Chinese Hino coming through here. Guys, you guys had an amazing series today. I'm sure you had even better games in round 1 at the same time. I want to know, how are we feeling knowing that we won the grand finals of the mid-season bracket?
Honestly, I'm really satisfied with the way we managed to translate all we've practiced into this 3-map series. Honestly, no words.
Wow. You know, I'm actually quite impressed by your guys' side. I feel like UNDVA and Dream Eaters just overall were better there. You guys were always in those scenario fights. You aggressed much more further into that, backline, got the picks and everything. Would you say that you were faster than the opposing side, which was VA Cap leg of today?
I think we kind of looked at their previous games going into this, so we had a really good idea
Oh, I knew it.
of what they were going to run, and we came up with that the Larissa counter comp, and we kind of just knew what they were going to play and knew how we were going to respond. So I think we just kind of had the tools in the bag before the game had even started. So I think that helped a lot.
Studying.
Yeah, 1000%.
You guys studied.
Yeah, studying up.
Yeah, for sure. And I also want to ask, as we go into King's Row, we did see you start off on the Queen. I believe, I'm not incorrect, Queen's your favorite character, right?
Yeah, she's what I've been playing in scrims mostly, but I think most naturally I'm a bit of a Winston head there.
Yeah, oh my goodness. So back to the King's Row thing, you started off on Queen on defense. What adaptation do you have to make to realize, you know what, this isn't working, I have to go with the Ramatra, I have to stop the comp a little bit? What was the thinking in that, as you saw VA Cat start to really pick up the pace on King's Row?
Well, I think it was mostly because they had that Ram May comp, and I could feel that they were really trying to just spam me down. And on the Queen, it can make it really difficult. You have to get your timings perfect. So I thought, we can beat them in the mirror. We can just mirror the Ram and try and make them uncomfortable and take away the sort of comp matchup, just make an individual skill matchup.
Yeah, looking at it, you guys were dominant over VA Cat Plague today. But something to talk about is you guys were victorious here, but as well, You guys have next week, and I know meta is maybe going to shift. I know the pro players of Overwatch Esports have been cooking, but do we see your team go into meta any time or point in the season?
Into the meta?
Yeah.
I'll let you have this to go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Overwatch is a constantly changing game, and even more so with these perks added. So, for sure, we would definitely expect to see some kind of minor changes here now and then, but mostly the base of what like makes up our comps in general is gonna stay there.
1,000%. And I can't wait to see you guys come back in week 5 for the regular season. Ideally, hopefully, with this now, with getting first place, you guys now have a match win in your record for the regular season, which I think is going to be fantastic to get to playoffs. I think you guys low-key have secured your spot just off of that. But to let you guys go, I would like to ask each of you to give a shout out to whomever you'd like on the broadcast.
Dinos, you want to start off?
Okay, I think I'll have to shout out Spectron for showing that clip of me falling off the map.
That's my
stream.
goat right there. We
you
love
know.
Spec in this house.
Okay, I'll give him a shout out for that. Thank you for making me see myself fall off the map on Lijiang on stream.
And as for me, I would like to shout out the entirety of UNDVA's Dream Eaters because we've been together the entire step of the way. And more importantly, I would like to shout out the entire country of Panama in Latin America.
Let's go, Panama.
Which I come from. Yep. And my friends watching.
Let's go, Panama. I see you. Hey, let's go. I love that.
Status.
I love that for you guys. You guys had a wonderful win today, and I'm sure we will take the momentum into the regular season as we wrap that up for the next 4 weeks. Otherwise, I will see you guys back on this broadcast. I'm 1,000% sure of it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
You guys too. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Of course. Have a good one. And that is all we have for the Grand Finals for Masters Division, at least for right now. Like I said, as we go back and review the schedule, as a reminder, there is a lot more going on today. And also, I do want to talk about the fact that Kira 3-0'd GGTD in their match, finalizing that series at the same time. Wonderful. 2 3-0s back-to-back. I love to see it. Now, of course, on the NA side of things, we're going to have Agave Foxtails with versus Amplify again at 8 o'clock Eastern, and then an hour and a half after that, we're going to be having Solar Eclipse versus Cuddle Puddle. The top seed versus, I believe, the 7th seed, actually, in that last game specifically. So it's going to be a complete banger. Cuddle Puddle giving a lot of expectations that we never even thought of. So very excited to see those 2 games later today on CGL 1, and I believe CGL 2 also. But we'll keep that update for you guys. Keep checking the Discords, keep checking the announcements to make sure you know when those games are going live and where to watch them, of course. But Nyah, that's all we have, really, at least for the EU side of things. Any other final words?
Hey, all I gotta say is I'm excited to see Phone play if Phone is playing for Amplify. Phone Nation, rise up. But, yeah, this is the end of our European of today. But, yeah, VA Cat Plague, this is not your only opportunity to shine. You got multiple others. But Dream Eaters, wonderful, well done at 3-0 here of, our Europe of EU Masters mid-season.
Absolutely. And again, as second place winners, VA still gets something under their name. They're going to get 3 map wins added to their record, which still, I think, is still really solid to have as a accomplishment for getting second place in the mid-season. So nothing too crazy. Cool. It's still a good thing to have in the back pocket. But otherwise, we'll see you guys tonight for the NA divisions to wrap up this mid-season bracket and enter into a breath of fresh air for the Week 5 regular season. Thank you, production. Thank you, my observers, as always. Thank you to my interview candidates for being a wonderful, wonderful duo. And that is all we have for you guys today. We'll see you guys a little bit later.